Good evening and welcome to Ignite News on 6 at 6. It's Thursday, May 29th, 2025. I'm Rihanna Nikram. Thanks for joining us. Here are the headlines. Ghana's infrastructure and construction sectors have received a major boost with the official launch of the Drumnik asphalt plant along the Linden-Soesdijk Highway. Businessman Azri Muhammad was granted $500,000 bail this morning after appearing at the Georgetown Magistrates Court. Former People's National Congress Reform Central Executive Member Dr. Richard Van Ness Charles has endorsed President Dr. Irfan Ali for a second term in office. The political party A New United Guyana, or ANOG, has welcomed President Dr. Irfan Ali's announcement of general elections set for September 1st. Ghana's infrastructure and construction sectors have received a major boost with official launch of the Drumnik asphalt plant along the Linden-Soesdijk Highway. The move represents a significant investment partnership between Guyana and Colombia and supports the government's ongoing infrastructure drive. Drumnik began operations in April last year after being introduced to Guyana by business partner Marcorp in 2023. Speaking at the launch ceremony yesterday, Rafael Regis, a member of Drumnik's executive board, said the Colombian group initially considered importing aggregates to meet the sector's needs, but later decided to establish operations in Guyana after recognizing the country's vast economic potential.
Today, with great joy and pride, we celebrate the inauguration of our asphalt plant. Our aim is for this facility to play a key role in the country's infrastructure development, building roads, connecting communities, creating jobs, and supporting local businesses. In doing so, we will contribute to Guyana's desire of becoming a regional hub for investment and connectivity. But today, we are celebrating more than just an opening. This substantial investment is a clear statement. We are not here for a one-time opportunity. Rather, it is a demonstration of our confidence in President Irfan Ali's national vision. Under his leadership, Guyana has achieved extraordinary results, and its future outlook was a key factor in our decision to invest and establish roots in this country.
Regis also highlighted the company's commitment to bring technology and innovation guided by sustainability, environmental balance, and social responsibility to Guyana. Delivering the feature address, President Dr. Irfan Ali said the launch reflects Guyana's advancement and multidimensional approach to global development, investment, and transformation. He emphasized the ongoing transformation of the Linden-Soesdijk Highway into a major transportation and service corridor linking Guyana to Brazil.
Today, on this Linden-Soesdijk Highway, tens of millions of US dollars, billions of Guyanese dollars, tens of billions of dollars is being invested here on this new corridor of development. And this corridor of development is not only hardcore industrial investment. It is a mix of investment that tells the story of the diversity of the Guyanese economy.
The president added that investments in agriculture, hydroponics, tourism, cement manufacturing, and quarrying are all part of the broader infrastructure transformation taking place along the highway corridor. He also noted that the Guyana-Colombia partnership is expected to create jobs, boost asset value, and improve productivity. Drumnik's parent group in Colombia brings over 40 years of experience in industrial aggregates, asphalt production, and infrastructure development. The event was also attended by former Colombian President Iván Duque and Chief Investment Officer of Go Invest, Dr. Peter Ramsarup. Businessman Azri Muhammad was granted $500,000 bail this morning after appearing at the Georgetown Magistrates Court. He faces 2 charges, false declaration and tax evasion, related to the importation of a Lamborghini. The charges stem from Guyana Revenue Authority, GRA, investigation into alleged customs misrepresentation. Muhammad pleaded not guilty. Representing Muhammad, attorney Damian De Silva, told the court the matter is already the subject of civil litigation between his client and the GRA. He said that all duties and taxes were paid in 2020, and Muhammad retained undisputed possession of the vehicles until March 2025. Special Prosecutor Sanjeev Dattadin, appearing for the state, highlighted the seriousness of the alleged financial misconduct. He argued that the GRA is lawfully empowered to pursue criminal charges in tax evasion cases and urged a magistrate to set bail accordingly. The case has been adjourned to June 26, 2025. Meanwhile, outside the courthouse, tempers flared when Muhammad's father, Nasar Shell Muhammad, was overheard shouting expletives at social media commentator Guyanese critics. The commentator did not respond. Azri Muhammad left the court without handcuffs and addressed members of the media, proclaiming his innocence and leveling serious allegations against senior government figures. While the current charges relate to the local importation of the vehicle, they come after the U.S. Department of the Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control imposed sanctions on Muhammad and members of his family in June 2024. The sanctions accuse them of evading approximately US $50 million in taxes tied to gold exports. As a result, the government revoked several business licenses held by the family. Vice President Dr. Bharat Jagdeo has denied that these actions are political targeting of the family. According to Jagdeo, the administration must enforce international financial rules to protect Guyana's economy. Guyana's tourism and hospitality sector is receiving another major boost, with a 172-room, 4 Points by Sheraton Hotel currently under construction in Houston, East Bank, Demerara. The project is led by Tama Investments, LLC, and has an estimated total project cost of approximately US $33.3 million. The new modern hotel is slated to be completed in August and will employ at least 100 employees, 80% being Guyanese. Upon completion, the hotel will feature a restaurant, outdoor pool, bars, meeting space, and retail area. President Dr. Irfan Ali paid a visit to the construction site this morning, where he conducted an inspection of the project. During his inspection, the president was informed that 10 Amerindian women from the village of Santa Artac are earning an income for their local craft that will be showcased to thousands of visitors when they visit Guyana.
This is fantastic. This is lampshade, and they will also have an entire section of the building dedicated to indigenous work.
That's in the commercial.
Arts, Guyana arts and culture, and of course, everything Guyana. So this is another key aspect of what the designers were able to incorporate, having that indigenous and artistic identity.
The project forms part of the government's plan to have at least 2,000 hotel rooms in support of Guyana's massive economic expansion. It will also play a significant role in the development of sports tourism. Additionally, a massive housing scheme will also be established along the hotel stretch, adding to the transformation of the city's landscape. The president said hubs for local shops will also be created in the area. Ignite News will be right back after these messages. Stay with us.
We're for the brave, for tenacity. Here's to the up and at 'em types. We're for the crafters, the drafters, and the ones who clean up after. Here's to the dream makers and the risk takers, because we know what it takes. From mobility to high-speed internet to technology that makes it easy for your business. We're for brave, we're for business, and we're in this together. Bravo.
Welcome back to Ignite News on 6 at 6. Former legal officer of the Guyana Elections Commission, JCOM, attorney at law Kurt Anthony De Silva, has filed a defamation lawsuit against JCOM and his chief election officer, Vishnu Prasad, over statements related to the non-renewal of his contract. According to the court document filed in the High Court, De Silva claims that public statements made by the Commission and Prasad have damaged his personal and professional reputation. The lawsuit centers on two statements, one issued by Prasad on March 20, 2025, and another by JCOM on April 9, 2025. De Silva alleges the statements falsely accuse him of acting beyond his authority and making unauthorized legal submissions that could undermine public confidence in the electoral process. The April 9 JCOM press release cited new circumstances following a performance appraisal and suggested De Silva's court submissions risk postponing elections and governance instability. Prasad's March 20th statement, posted on JCOM's website and social media, and shared by Attorney General Anand Lal, denied authorizing the Silva's court submissions and said they misrepresented JCOM's position. De Silva denies these claims, asserting that his submissions were consistent with the sworn affidavit of the CEO and had been circulated to and approved by JCOM's chairperson and commissioners, with no objections before filing. He is seeking damages, a formal retraction, and a public apology published with the same prominence as the original statements. Former People's National Congress Reform Central Executive Member Dr. Richard Van West Charles has endorsed President Dr. Irfan Ali for a second term in office. Charles, a former government minister in the PNC administration and currently Guyana's ambassador to neighboring Venezuela, made the endorsement in a Facebook video.
Over the last 4 years, we have been able to witness and palpate the performance of President Muhammad Irfan Ali. He has worked assiduously in ensuring that there is increasing participation of our people based on the resources emanating from the petroleum industry and other industries. His plans have been able to deliver. So as we move now further to deepen the development of the oil and gas industry, we need someone who has proven leadership in the use of the resources in a constructive and equitable manner. I have been in politics for more than 35, 40 years. I have functioned both nationally and internationally. My association politically, as you all know, have been within the People's National Congress. I, however, feel at this juncture the importance of moving forward and in the continuum of development. As a nationalist, I have no hesitation in underscoring and supporting President Muhammad Irfan Ali as our next president and next leader of our dear land of Guyana.
He said President Ali has a vision for Guyana, has demonstrated the ability to bring people together, and was able to deliver on promises made to the people. On Tuesday, another PNC member, Region 4 Chairman and Party Representative Daniel Siram, publicly announced his endorsement of President Dr. Irfan Ali and Vice President Dr. Bara Jagdeo for a second term in office. Siram said that after fruitful discussions and careful consideration on matters of national and regional development, he has decided to back the PBC leadership. Further, on Wednesday, Liberty and Justice Party LJP leader Lennox Schumann endorsed the People's Progressive Party Civic for another term in office. Schumann, a former deputy speaker and a pilot by profession, said he's impressed by the work carried out by Irfan Ali-led administration over the past 5 years. Prior to Siram's and Schumann's announcements, founded an executive member of the Citizen Initiative, TCI, Shazam Ali, confirmed on Monday that he not only supports another term for the PPC, but has formally joined them. Leader of the opposition and People's National Congress Reform, PNCR, Aubrey Norton, said his party is ready for the regional and general elections set for September 1st. However, he noted that opposition-nominated commissioners at JCOM have claimed that the timeframe announced for the upcoming general and regional elections was not finalized by the Commission, and have accused the chairperson of unilaterally naming a date for the elections. JCOM on Wednesday rejected this assertion as misleading. According to JCOM, on May 23rd, President Dr. Irfan Ali contacted Chairperson Claudette Singh to ask whether elections could be held within 3 months. She then consulted the Chief Election Officer, who said he had already prepared a draft plan in case early elections were needed. JCOM says that the advice given was based on careful consultation, not a one-sided decision. Norton also accused JCOM of not conducting a review of the 2020 elections, but JCOM had indicated that it cannot undertake an exercise that falls within the remit of the court. The opposition leader, however, noted that notwithstanding these issues, his party continues to move ahead with its elections preparations. He said the party has been preparing and continues to do so. with training for election day workers already ongoing. The party, he said, is on course with its campaign for the upcoming 2025 elections. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more Ignite News after these messages.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95, tune up. Fuel it up and drive, Super 95, tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
This is Ignite News on 6 at 6. The political party A New and United Guyana, or ANOG, has welcomed President Dr. Irfan Ali's announcement of general elections set for September 1st. In a statement, the party called for a clean and peaceful campaign, free from mudslinging, fear, threats, violence, and division. ANOG urged all political parties to show respect for their opponents, uphold the rule of law, and reject violence at every stage, before, during, and after the polls. The party is calling on all Guyanese to honor the principles of democracy by respecting each citizen's right to vote for the candidate or party of their choice. ANOG reminded voters that the power of the vote lies in its equality. Each vote carries the same weight, and through this collective act, the will of the people is expressed. The party also raised concerns about the Ghana Elections Commission, or JCOM, citing long-standing issues exposed during the 2020 elections. They say JCOM's logistical and procedural missteps, many of which were publicly documented and laid before for the world to see, must be urgently addressed. According to ANOG, improvements are needed in the Commission's internal systems, staff training, and overall management of election day operations to guarantee credibility and efficiency. The Ghana Police Force, GPF, has strongly rejected statements made by former Assistant Commissioner Paul Slow, who questioned the integrity of the final post-mortem report concerning the death of 11-year-old Adriana Young. Slow, in a Kaitro News article, criticized autopsy findings, calling it the biggest cover-up in the recent history of the Ghana Police Force. His claims prompted a sharp response from the GPF, which described his remarks as misguided, ill-informed, and seemingly calculated. The police stated that the autopsy, conducted by 3 internationally recognized pathologists, found no signs of foul play. Their final report confirmed that Adriana's death was consistent with drowning, with no evidence of trauma, assault, or other criminal acts. Despite these findings, Slow disputed the conclusion, suggesting Adriana may not have drowned in the pool where her body was discovered. The GPF criticized Slow and others for spreading misinformation, particularly on social media, without possessing the necessary expertise to interpret forensic findings. The police emphasized that all concerns raised by Adriana's family, including possible sexual assault, forced drowning elsewhere, and ritualistic activity, were thoroughly investigated in collaboration with forensic experts. They reiterated toxicology results indicated post-mortem decomposition, and DNA tests were negative. The police maintained that there was no evidence of restraint or foul play, and reaffirmed their reliance on facts and professional opinions over speculation. The delegation of the European Union, EU, to Guyana, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the European Chamber of Commerce in Guyana, will host a health and pharmaceutical investment mission from June 2nd to 4th, 2025. The mission, part of the EU's Global Gateway Initiative, aims to strengthen partnerships between European health and pharmaceutical companies and Guyanese stakeholders, supporting the development of Guyana's healthcare sector, a release said. Local partners include Go Invest, the Private Sector Commission, the Georgian Chamber of Commerce, and the Guyana Manufacturers and Services Association. The event will be held at the Ghana Marriott Hotel in Georgetown and will feature over 13 companies from EU member states, including Spain, Austria, France, the Czech Republic, Portugal, Sweden, Italy, and Ireland. The 3-day mission will include sector-specific seminars, business-to-business meetings, and site visits to local medical and pharmaceutical facilities to encourage collaboration and knowledge exchange. Guyana is undertaking significant reforms to modernize its health sector, with ongoing infrastructure investments such as the construction of 8 new hospitals and plans for 4 more. These new facilities will require advanced equipment and services, creating opportunities for partnerships with trusted international companies. EU Ambassador René Van Ness highlighted the mission's goal to support Guyana's vision of becoming a regional leader in health innovation and pharmaceutical manufacturing. We'll be right back with more Ignite News. Stay with us. Welcome back to Ignite News on 6 at 6. In international news, a U.S. federal court has blocked President Donald Trump's sweeping global trade tariffs. The Court of International Trade ruled that the emergency law used by the White House did not give the president unilateral authority to impose tariffs on countries around the world. The New York-based court said the U.S. Constitution gives Congress, not the president, exclusive power to regulate international commerce. As a result, the ruling strikes down a 10% baseline tariff introduced on what Trump had dubbed Liberation Day and blocks additional tariffs placed on China, Mexico, and Canada. The decision, however, does not affect tariffs already in place on certain sectors like steel, aluminum, and automobiles. The White House has asked the court to pause the order while it pursues an appeal. The ruling came after two separate legal challenges, one by the Liberty Justice Center on behalf of small businesses, and another brought by a coalition of U.S. state governments. In both cases, the court found that the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, passed in 1977, did not authorize the broad tariffs the Trump administration had imposed. In other U.S.-related news, the Trump administration says it will aggressively revoke visas of Chinese students currently studying in the U.S. In a post on X, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the policy targets those linked to the Chinese Communist Party or studying in critical fields. Tensions between Washington and Beijing have escalated in recent months, driven largely by an ongoing trade war. Last year, an estimated 280,000 Chinese students were enrolled in American universities. It's still unclear how many will be affected by this move. China has condemned the decision, urging the U.S. to take a more constructive approach to bilateral relations. As part of the crackdown, visa application rules for Chinese and Hong Kong students will also be tightened, with plans to increase scrutiny of future applicants. Rubio also announced that U.S. embassies worldwide will pause student visa appointments as the State Department prepares to expand social media vetting for all student visa hopefuls. Finally, in sports, England batter Heather Knight has been ruled out of international cricket for the rest of the summer due to a hamstring injury. She will also miss this year's edition of the 100. The 34-year-old former captain picked up the injury during England's third T20 win over the West Indies on Monday. Knight was visibly struggling to run between the wickets toward the end of her innings, but managed to finish unbeaten on 6-6 in England's 17-run victory. She did not return to the field for the second innings. A scan on Tuesday confirmed what the England and Wales Cricket Board called a significant tendon injury to her right hamstring. Rising star Alice Capsey, age 20, has been named as Knight's replacement for the upcoming 3-match one-day series against the West Indies, starting Friday in Derby. Teammate Kate Cross said the squad is devastated by the news, praising Knight's determination and work ethic. Cross added that Knight will now focus on recovering in time for the World Cup, a goal she believes will keep the veteran batter motivated during rehab. Luis Suarez and Lionel Messi both delivered standout performances, each scoring twice and providing an assist to lead Inter Miami to a 4-2 win over CF Montreal in Fort Lauderdale. The victory marks only the second win in 9 matches for Inter Miami, who now move up to 6th in the Major League Soccer Eastern Conference standings. The result also snapped a 4-game winless streak in league play. Montreal, meanwhile, continues to struggle. They've now lost 2 of their last 3 and remained near the bottom of the table with just one win this season. Suarez hadn't scored in Major League Soccer since May 3rd, but ended his drought in style, netting twice in the 68th and 71st minutes. His first goal came after a brilliant setup by Messi, who drew defenders before floating a pass across the box. Suarez was left unmarked and buried the point-blank shot. Just minutes later, Suarez capitalized on a defensive miscue, intercepting a loose ball and firing it past Montreal's keeper to give Miami a 3-0 lead. And that's all for this edition of Ignite News on 6 at 6. For more stories, visit ignitenews.com or follow us on social media. Thanks for watching. I'm Rihanna Nikram. See you tomorrow for more Ignite News.